Want me to stop it and restart it? That way you won't have to.
I can cut the front end off.
Okay.
I can edit it. Larry East can. I don't know why he can't.
I know you can. I just don't want to be a.
He's trying. He's spent all of the state to do that. I've been with him. I don't know why. That's why I go in many board meetings all about it.
This is another thing that happens. It turns off the toggles when you.
Yeah.
I don't know why you quit share.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you all had your donuts and coffee, and that'll sustain you through our meeting. So we would like to do the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Our officers, for some president, we have Larry, he's with us today. Bruce, is he on Zoom?
He's on Zoom, or he was on Zoom.
Okay, the treasurers, Gordon, our at-large board members, is Dan. Oh, there he is.
He moved.
Okay. Carol Taylor, Dick too. Bob Whaley, and Steve Morris. All right, today, Bob is going to come up. We have one fallen veteran.
We have a fallen veteran that we'd like to recognize. It's Don Schmidt. As some of you know that, some of us have been praying on Don over the last 2 weeks because of, some health problems, and he just recently passed away. I'd like to recognize Ann, his wife was here, and some of her friends. I'd like you all to stand to recognize Don. Thank you all.
Okay, today our speaker is Joe Shambo. Joe served in the U.S. Air Force. He's a longtime Sunflower resident and a club member. He is very knowledgeable in the field of the VA benefits and has helped many veterans through the VSO. So, Joe, would you like to, you want to?
Yeah, I think so. Everybody knows me as Town Chamber's brother. I am the better looking one, the more knowledgeable.
Hold it
He's
closer.
getting settled up there where he's at.
Hold it closer.
Is that close enough? There you go. How's that? All right. Well, as I said, I did 20 years in the Air Force, but I grew up in Chicago, which was a good place to leave. But when I went to school at Blackland, my first airplane ride was from Midway to Lackland. And as soon as you got off the bus in Lackland, you said, holy shit, what did I do? But got into basic training, and then we went ahead and got our clothes, our bus driver uniform, and go from there. And I went to Texas. I went to Amarillo School, tech school for aircraft mechanics. The Amarillo is a place we could give away. I don't know if anybody's ever been there. That's the only place I know where snow goes silent. And I got out of there and filled out my dream sheet for everybody because I knew where I wanted to go. And I put in Japan and they sent me to Germany, so that's close. I was in Germany in a fighter interceptor squad in Ramstein. I was there when Kennedy was assassinated. And that's the first time I was scared the shit out of them because they gave me a gun with bullets. And I mean, no, that's what we do the army for. But they gave us guns and they said, it's a two-man concept because we had no missiles on. If your pilot tries to do something, you shoot him. And if you try something, he shoots you. So we agreed that we wouldn't do anything. I sat down there for about 12 hours waiting to get released. And then they told us that we can go back and do what we're doing. But, you know, in the Air Force, a lot of things. They forgot that if we went to war, we had dependents there. What are we supposed to do with our dependents? So that led for another 12 hours or something, trying to figure out what to do. But I was lucky enough, after 20 years in the Air Force, I was there 14 years in Germany. I trained and worked with different Air Forces. And there's a lot of them out there we don't want to be with. After that 20 years in the Air Force, I was cross-trained at 10 years through computer analyst. And I'm just trying to figure out how the hell can you go from aircraft mechanic to computer analyst. But the Air Force knew we could do it, so we did do it. Then they sent me back to Germany. I was at Ramstein, I was at Pittsburgh, Spain, Gallen, and Frankfurt. And that was great. The good part, my wife taught over there for the Department of Defense. My kids were raised there. And I wish my older one I could have left, but you know, it's one of those things. It was a lot of fun over there. I learned how to drink beer. This was a good trait over there anyways. But I was lucky enough to go to like Spain when in Madrid, when Franco was there as a dictator. And then we went to France, which was a place we didn't really have to stop, but they gave us a place to work up there. And I think it was a goat farm, but it's horrible. Then we went to Denmark, which was great. Then back to England. you know, I'm suffering, this is, you know, bad news. Get paid to do all this, and, then my last tour was at Ramstein, was at Frankfurt. Except my boss, which was a two-star, it was in Dover, Delaware. And every time you wanted to meet, I had to fly to Dover, Delaware. I tried to tell him there was a thing called a phone, you know, we could do this, but. So he had me go one time, I went to Delaware, then I had to go to Lackland for a meeting. Then from Lackland, they said, well, we need you, I mean, from there, we need you to go to Hawaii for a while. And this is dead winter in Germany. And my wife's there. So, being smart, when I was in Tucson for a little bit, I called her from her mother's house. So I got a little bit deep for that one, but we had a great time over there. My kids were raised there, you know. Then I got out and I went to work at the University of Arizona. And then I realized how idiot professors were. And it's just ridiculous the way they do things. They all think they're in charge. And because after 20 years in there, I left. When you have a budget like $25 to $30 million, and you spend it the first day, because all the idiots are, I need more money. But I did there, I was facility manager. I helped build a lot of buildings there. Then I was a director of the computer for 20 years. They spent so much money in those buildings over there. But the kids love it. They have a big enrollment and they have a great retirement plan. So they will be great from there. Then from there, I went to the VA when I retired from there. And I helped in what they call patient education place. Try to teach somebody who's 9 years old how to do website, web searches. Yeah, so it was quite interesting. And I was there for 20 years. And accomplished nothing, but I did get my next before I was there. My daughters graduated from there. Thank God it was cheaper than any other thing. And then I started helping veterans do their claims. And I think I felt quite here with it. But, and then Dave's here, he's American Disabilities, and they're right on 9, right? And you have 2 or 3 people there all the time. Yeah, so if you need to file a claim, they're the best way to do it, or I live here and I can help you. The other thing is when you file a claim, it takes a while. Was it about a year?
It's, the first thing is, after you file, it takes 2 or 3 weeks to get a letter from the state of Arizona. That they received it, and they send it to the VA, and once the VA gets it, it's between 99 days, give or take. And do not miss your physical.
No,
You miss a physical, it's 0%.
yeah, you have to start all over again. And it's very frustrating for people to file for that. So it's just one of those things that after a while, it's what, about 18 pages before you're done with it. The government loves paperwork. And they love to make sure you put your date on it, make sure you do all that little stuff. But it's very frustrating. I have a couple of people I've worked with for 2 years, 3 years before we finally got it done. But they will back pay it, which was nice.
From the day that they filed.
Yeah. But it's right now, it's very confusing for filing. I have one woman here I'm working with. She put in for bad news. And they came back and denied her for the bladder problem. And we're going, when did we put that in? So if you do file mutation, they can do it. It's very important for you to file if you have a spouse. Because the spouse has privileges if something happens to you. And that's the main thing. But most of us, we put in for hearing, even though we believe we hear all right, our spouses have a problem. I think it's called the selective hearing. But, yeah, other than that, is any questions? Oh, yes.
I was at the Veterans. The Marana Cemetery,
Mhm.
and there were people putting pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters on the grave sites, and I don't know what the meaning of
Yeah,
that.
I don't know what they're doing out there like that. I was originally on part of it when they built it. But yeah, I know it's a very busy place right now. I don't understand why they put pennies and nickels. Does anybody understand why they did that? Okay. Any other questions? I get in a lot of trouble, so just go ahead and ask.
The question about pennies. There used to be a thing going, I know it's in the army for sure. Penny means you visited the site. A nickel means you were in the military with that person. And keeps going up, and the final one is,
Oh, that's great, but no, so.
quarter meant you died with him, you saw him die in the battlefield.
And the interesting thing is the cemeteries expand, so that's great. And you know, it's still, I think it takes you 2 months or 3 months to get interred. There, it just takes time, and they are improved. I know Tom comes down here. Wow. I don't know why, but he comes down. And, but no, he likes to go with the cemetery. But he did get in there, I don't know if everybody who knows Tom, he did get in on the finance committee, and he did get in on the reorganization, so that should be the story, so, but, he just loves to get around and help people. And he always yelled at me. You don't know anything about computer. I taught him. Yeah, but he's a salesman. Anybody who knows John, he's a salesman. I think he could sell you a dead cow. And I got, if you really want, those who know, I got war stories on that board. But, no, anything else, any questions about the VA? Because when the snowbirds come, we have a different system, yes.
Under the new rules, I understand, they're going to reduce VA staff by 80,000 personnel. Have you heard anything where that's going to affect Tucson?
Well, no, it won't affect us here. Basically, there is, if you've been around the VA for any length of time, there is some deadwood there. And that's what they're gonna do, is clean out some of those people. But you're gonna get the same service. I understand that the one here in Tucson just put in for 6 new doctors to help us out. Because we are behind, you know, it takes you 2 weeks to a month to get an appointment. But they do have new systems in place. You see, community care, there's a new name for it. But if you go to VA and you have, it's more than a month before you get an appointment, you can go outside under community care. And because they don't want you to wait forever. But yet they are way well behind on it. The VA people that you hear them talking about, it's usually administrative people. It's not your doctors, it's not your pharmacists or anything. They'll be there all the time. Any other questions? All right. That's it. I'm done telling the story.
Get your camera on. You put your camera. She's on there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next we have, Gordon's treasury report.
When you went to a dermatologist.
Dave, please. We would like to give you this check for $1,000 for your organization.
Here's Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we would like to give this check to Dave for his organization in the amount of $1,000.
Thank you very much. Right now, we're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 3. We service about 150 veterans or widows per month. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but on average, it's 150. We don't have a bar, we don't have a restaurant. The others do, but we don't. You go see us, but answer your questions and do your paperwork, and that's it. And thank you very much. We'll put it to good use.
Good morning. This is the treasurer's report starting May 1 to the 31st of May. On May the 1st, we had an opening balance of $6,416.39. On the 7th of May, we had a deposit of $87, which consisted of $62 from the tin can here and a $25 membership from Tim McClure. On the 15th, I made a $83 deposit, which consisted of donations from the bingo night. And those were from people who won bingo, which Bob Whalen contributed $20 from his winnings. Alice Howard, $20. Sharon Nees, $10. And I won too, and $33 for me. Expenses for the month. Dennis, $68.37 for our donuts. We made a donation to the VAPS of $2,000, which I delivered to Monica at the VA. And $1,000 to the DAV. And a $1,000 check to the Patriots Pantry that I also walked down to the VA, delivered to them. And $1,200 to the Camp Corral Fund, which I also walked over to I drove it over to the Golden Corral and gave it to the owner of the restaurant. He made sure it went into the fund for the Camp Corral camping fund for a couple of kids going to camp, veteran kids. That left us on the 1st with a balance of $1,318.02. I'm living proof in the VA helps people. my nose. It's a great place to go. Volunteers are needed there too. This is kind of off treasurer report. I volunteer on Friday. Anybody wants to volunteer? I ride there alone on Friday now, so. You want somebody to drive you? Here I am. Sharon gave me this is a heads up person, Sharon has a card, thank you card for volunteering at barbecue. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you.
Questions about the treasurer's report? That's it, thank you.
Good job.
New
Microphone.
business is, I'm sorry, the new business is new honorary members. I don't really have any information on that. Do you want to talk about that, Larry?
This is all Bruce's and he's not here today, so
Okay, so
we'll wait until next time.
okay. Okay, now, I do have a sign up sheet. We need volunteers for the summer picnic. It's up there in the front, poster there, tells you a little bit about the summer picnic. The tickets are gonna, on sale. My first day is the 9th, which would be Monday. And then, Larry put it on, that you can go online and order your tickets as well. And, the picnic is July 12th, so, anybody that wants to buy some tickets is come out on the 9th, then I'll be glad to sell them to you. I'd like to welcome, or do we have any new or returning attendees?
I know.
Would you like to stand up and give us a little history?
Very briefly, my name is Malcolm Potter. We just moved into the neighborhood here. I served in the United States Coast Guard Reserve for 17 years. Started as a seaman recruit, ended as lieutenant commander. It was quite an experience and share it with you sometime. Thank
We
you.
would like that very much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, this is, want to bring Lisa in? Go ahead, you,
We have a real privilege this morning to sing happy birthday to Lisa. She's officially old enough to live here. But this is one lady that has given us so much support over the years that she served as our manager. But more importantly, our friend and a friend of the vets, and we want to wish you a happy birthday. We're all going to sing. It's going to be ugly. But you gotta put up with it. Are we ready? Let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
To you.
Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you. And many more with us. We need to get a picture.
Better grab a sandwich.
Camera guy.
He's loafing today.
Achievement of your life.
okay, does anybody have anything for the good of the cause?
Yes, Madam President. Does anybody know what comes the day after the Marine Corps birthday? Veterans Day. You know, the Marines don't remember that because it's a rough day on November 10th. But they put November 11th there so the Marines would remember their other branches of the military. So just as a heads up, this year, well, last year, we had the privilege of honoring our 3 World War II vets. And Will Harris is one of them, Frank Missouri, and Al Cohen. And it was such a great event in an awe-inspiring time for all of us. We thought we'd highlight
women veterans this year. And the difficulty I'm having is chasing them down. Now, they're all over our community, but they stay hidden. And we have some that are just great and great members of our club now, but I know there's more out there. If you could help me, ask your neighbors, check around your immediate community. And if you find out you've got a woman veteran next to you, give me a call. Leave me their name and their phone number, or just their name, and I'll contact them to make sure that they're here on November 11th to be recognized.
You've
So
always
it's a
had
chance.
trouble chasing women though.
Well, this is, there was an underlying reason for this. Just don't tell my wife. But I did want to give you a heads up, November 11th, Veterans Day, right out here in the front, is going to be a great event. Hope you all are there. And I'll give you more information later.
Does that male vets that are transitioning?
Yes, it does. I say that proudly.
Okay, I got a email from Joe Shambo last week. And he wanted me to be able to. Tom Shambo. Okay. Yes, Tom sent me an email and he wanted me to discuss World War II veterans eligibility. If you served in World War II and you're not currently enrolled in the VA healthcare, recent legislation ensures that you are eligible for VA healthcare. World War II is defined as a period between 12/7/1941 and 12/31/1946. The Cleveland-Dole Act signed into law in December of 2022, Section 101. They have expanded, this law has expanded its eligibility. Income level and length of service doesn't matter. So if you were denied before medical care, I just ask you to re-sign up, because this law that just went into effect would assure our World War II veterans some health care at the VA. Okay. Now, Jim, you had something that you wanted to read. This will be on a probably a lighter note, right?
Not really.
No, okay, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you all know who Red Skelton was?
Yeah.
Okay, like all of us probably did. He's a famous comedian. But what he said is he had an experience when he was a young boy in Vincent, Indiana. And what I'm gonna read here is Red Skelton's story, okay? Use your imagination. Here's Red Skelton. When I was a small boy in Vincennes, Indiana, I heard, I think, one of the most outstanding speeches I have ever heard in my life. I think it compares to the Sermon on the Mount and Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. We had just finished reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. And he, Mr. Laswell, the principal of Vincent High School, got up and he said that, boys and girls, I have been listening to you recite Pledge of Allegiance all semester long, and it seems that it's become not monotonous to you. Or could it be you do not understand the meaning of each word? If I may, I would like to recite the pledge and give you a definition of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all my worldly good to give without self-pity. Allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, O glory, a symbol of courage. That wherever she waves, there is respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts, freedom is everybody's job. To the united, that means we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose, all divided by imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common cause, and that's love of country, America. And to the republic, a sovereign state in which power is invested into the representatives chosen by the people, the government. And the government is the people. And it's from the people to the leaders, and not from the leaders to the people. For which it stands, one nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom. The right of power for one to live his own life without fears, threats, or any sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle and qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all. For all. That means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. Since he was a small boy, 2 stars have been added to the country. And 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance, under God. It goes on to say, wouldn't it be a pity if somebody said that's a prayer and it would be eliminated from our schools? Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything to add? If not, we will adjourn. God bless everybody. Have a wonderful day.
That was,